When your body feels weak and exhausted tonight, this prayer is for you. You have given every ounce of energy to everyone else today. You've pushed through the pain, the fatigue, and the noise. But right now, I want you to stop trying. I want you to stop striving. It is time to stop doing and start receiving. Notice how heavy your legs feel right now. Can you feel the ache in your back and the stiffness in your shoulders as you finally settle into this space? The quiet shadows of this room are a stark contrast to the storm of the day you just survived. You spent the hours caring for the little ones, worrying about your elderly parents, and answering the endless demands of work. You carried everyone else's world on your shoulders, and now your body is paying the price. The day was loud, wasn't it? It was filled with pressure, expectations, and a constant mental list that never seemed to end. But notice the silence now. The noise of the world is fading, and his voice is soft. I know that silent fear whispering in your mind, the fear that you won't recover, the fear that you simply aren't strong enough to wake up and do it all again tomorrow. I am tired, but you are here, Lord. My flesh is weak, but you are here. Take a deep breath and imagine a gentle breeze entering this room. This is the breeze of grace. Let it flow over you, touching every part of your exhausted frame. Feel it moving through your tired hands, the hands that labored so hard for others today. Feel it soothing your mind, the mind that worried about so many things it could not control. There is a beautiful secret in the kingdom. Your weakness is not a failure. It is actually the perfect vessel for His strength. You don't have to carry the weight anymore, because the weight bearer is holding you right now. You are trading your exhaustion for His supernatural restoration. Your word reminds me, Lord, that you are my shepherd, and in you I shall not want. You make me lie down in green pastures. You lead me beside quiet waters. You restore my soul. Your word reminds me that those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. He is mending what is broken in you tonight. He is renewing the strength in your bones while you rest. He is quietening the inflammation in your joints. He is settling the rhythm of your heart. Visualize His light, warm and golden, surrounding your bed like a shield. I trade my anxiety for your peace. I trade my control for your comfort. I am not the one who keeps this world spinning. You are. I am not the one who holds my family together. You are. I surrender my need to be strong. I surrender my need to have all the answers. I am simply a child, resting in the arms of an almighty Father. He is mending. He is renewing. He is restoring. Your word reminds me that you give to your beloved even while they sleep. I receive that gift now. I receive the repair of my cells. I receive the calming of my nervous system. I receive the strength that only comes from you. Your word reminds me that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. But tonight, my doing is simply trusting. My strength is found in my surrender. I am covered by your grace. I am filled with your power. I am restored by your love. Tonight, let your sleep be a sacrament of healing. May the Lord bless your rest and restore your soul from the inside out. I declare that you will wake up with a new song in your heart and a lightness in your step that you haven't felt in a long time. If you are trusting Him for your healing tonight, please type Amen in the comments or share the specific part of your body or heart that needs His touch so we can pray for you together. Sleep in His peace. You are loved. Good night.